So my next speaker is Dr. Shweta Tripathi. She's done her MBBS from BRD Medical College, Gorakhpur, and DNB from Pondicherry Institute of Medical Sciences, Pondicherry. She's done a glaucoma fellowship from Shankar Nethralaya. She was the organizing secretary for the National Conference of Glaucoma Society of India at Lucknow in 2019. She has many publications to her credit in national and international journals. So over to you, Shweta. Request you to start sharing your screen. And Sunil, request you to please time up our presentations. Sunil, are you there?
Yes, sir, will do, sir.
Yeah, so will you please time up the presentation so that everybody gets an equal opportunity for the case to be discussed.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Amit. So not wasting much of time as we have to be in time. So I'm just starting my presentation. A very good evening to all. And I would like to thank all the office bearers and the esteemed dignitaries of AIOS who have given me this opportunity. So this was a platform where I was to share one unhappy patient, but since I have a series of unhappy patients who were unhappy because of a common reason related to the medical management of glaucoma, I would be sharing 3 of such cases. So this was a case of a 65-year-old gentleman who presented to me because all these unhappy patients were not initially treated by me. I was the secondary doctor who was treating them. But I would like to share all these cases here. So this was a case of 65-year-old gentleman who presented to us, who was being treated for conjunctivitis with oral steroids, antibiotics, and the glaucoma was well under control with the treatment of a combination therapy of a beta blocker and alpha agonist inhibitor. The cause of unhappiness for this case, as we can make out from the pictures itself, is that he was pain, burning, watering, and the most important point was that there was a difficult blinking also for him. So the patient was made happy through us by first of all, stopping all the medications, whether it was oral or topical, and identifying the cause of unhappiness, which was a alpha agonist allergy. So immediately that was replaced by the combination of beta blocker and a carbonic anhydrase inhibitors. Also, along with that, the patient was given a low dose steroid with antibiotic topically with the oral antihistaminics and cold fermentation. Coming to the second case for tonight, that this was a 65-year-old gentleman again who was on treatment with PG analog and was quite happy with the control of his glaucoma, till he came to us with his unhappiness, the cause being the cosmetic disfigurement, which was coming out in the form of hypertrichotic lashes. That's because the patient was being treated in single eye. That was the single eye, one eye, which was getting treated with the PG analog. So immediately the patient was made happy by stopping the PG analogs. And the lesson learned here was that the unilateral initiation of a PG analog therapy should always be used with caution. Third case, this was very important in the time of pandemics. This was a case of a 70-year-old gentleman who had a BCVA of 636 and 160 in right and left eye respectively. The Goldman applanation tonometries were in the range of 30s. March, the pressures were controlled and he with the maximum medical therapy, and he was advised surgery till the pandemic set on. So we lost to follow up this case. And then October, when he presented to us, to our uttermost dismay, he was having deteriorated vision in the right and the left respectively, with the pressures shooting up. The cause of unhappiness, needless to say, was profound loss of vision in both the eyes. What we tried to make the patient happy was by a proper counseling and just making the aggressive treatment by halting the disease progression further. And the lesson learned here was a proper adherence and a proper persistent patient with a proper counseling and a teleophthalmology, which is coming to role, which is playing an important role these days for the patient who cannot come physically to the clinics. They can take advice over the teleophthalmology instead of discontinuing the AGMs on their own. So there are 3 important points which I would like to highlight here. Why the above patients were unhappy, and was there anything which we could do to make them happy? Do we commonly see such cases in our practice? And the answer to all of them comes out to be yes. So there are certain challenges when we are sitting in a glaucoma clinics. That first is, when we talk about glaucoma disease diagnosis, the first thing is that identifying and treating the correct cases so that the drug overload can be prevented in the eyes where it is not needed. Like the top picture which I have shared that's a simple physiological cupping. Simply, it may be said that not all the 0.7 cuppings are a glaucomatous cupping. We have to comment on the NRR, the health of the NRR, before we say that, okay, this is a 0.7 cupping. We should put the patient to the anti-glaucoma medication. Talking about the pragmatic approach of the glaucoma medical management, that is
4
stepping
minutes
up
are up.
or stepping down the treatment. When we talk about the common, these two case scenarios, who were having a common baseline IOP, that is 26 millimeters, the left-sided patient definitely needs a little higher target IOP, lesser number of drugs, and a lesser number of side effects which are related to the anti-glaucoma medications. The awareness about the side effects of AGMs are really required, and we all should be alert, because none of us wants any of our patient's eye to suffer like this. And the road to the happy patient is definitely going to be by proper detection, strategy planning, and following up with reassurance. Thank you.
Thank you, Shweta. So we have our lead discussants for this case of yours. We have Dr. Pradeep Vyas and Dr. Vayal Rajshekhar. So I would invite Dr. Pradeep Vyas to open up the discussion.
Yeah, as Dr. Shweta pointed out, every single anti-glaucoma medication has its own side effect. And what I have seen in my practice is that the most safest and most tolerable anti-glaucoma medication is a beta blocker. But the beta blocker, all of us knows that is almost contraindicated in our 40% of the patients. So all remaining anti-glaucoma medication, be it the alpha-2 agonist, be it the PG analog, be it the carbonic anhydrase inhibitor, they all have their own problems. And almost 30% of the patients, they are not able to tolerate the first strand. And you have to explain to each and every patient of yours that what are the probable side effects of each of these medications the patient may likely to face in the future. So once the patient is comfortable and happy, then he would remain happy and comfortable. But otherwise, there are many occasions where you have to change the medication and you have to switch the patient to another medication. And there are quite a few occasions where the patient is not able to tolerate even a single medication. But yes, over a period of time, if suppose the patient starts the PG analog, then the hypertrichosis and periorbital, the prostaglandin-induced periorbitality would not develop immediately. It would take pretty long time. Till that time, the patient will be happy. But again, over a period of time, the patient would become unhappy with the medication. And then if you change the medication, then probably alpha-2 induced toxicity would go away. But the PG analog induced periorbitality would not go away so shortly. So always explain to the patient that there are some changes related to medication which may persist for a very long time or maybe lifelong, but the patient has to put the medication, and we are giving this medication to save his life.
Dr. Vayal Rajshekhar.
Perfectly fine. Yeah, I totally agree with Dr. Pradeep. It's more of a challenge that each glaucoma surgeon faces because of the limitation of the drugs. Each drug comes with its actions and equally effective and more commonly seen side effects. Educating them and taking them along is an important thing. Many times what I have seen is while we prescribe medicines, we speak about their benefits. I think in anti-glaucoma medications, we should also say the expected, the possible side effects, because patient, once they start developing redness or some other symptom, they may think that it's an aggravation of the disease itself or a new disease that has come. And when they come back, if the doctor opens up a discussion saying it could be due to the medicine, then, they're not totally convinced kind of a thing. So if you have said these are the kind of expected things, then probably that will help. It's a challenge, actually. It's a challenge, and probably good patient education and taking them along. And another important point you said is starting treatment. You should be 200% sure before deciding on the treatment, because another challenge that comes is starting treatment is easy. To stop a treatment in a patient who has been on anti-glaucoma medication for a physiological cup or query illness is more challenging, because one who stops the treatment will be blamed later in case should things go the other way. So that's well pointed out.
Dr. Girish, you have a comment to make?
Yeah. Thank you. I think Dr. Shweta very well presented unhappy scenarios. You have touched upon an important topic, that's the teleophthalmology. And I'd like to just highlight the difference between a teleconsultation and a telecounseling. I think that's very important for us to understand so that we make the patients happy. What we can really do now on most of the situations is only a telecounseling, where we talk to the patient and listen to the symptoms and maybe just try and counsel them to either continue the medication or seek another appointment. The real challenge would be for us to actually have a teleconsultation, where we could actually, have some gadgets, home devices where the patient can have an eye checkup done, or even send a slit lamp photograph of the anterior segment or even the posterior segment. And even today in the BRSI, we had a nice talk on the upcoming home OCT managed device for patients with AMD. I think that would be the next challenge for us, to graduate from the telecounseling to the teleconsultation. That's all I had to comment. Thank you.
So Shweta, the nutshell for all the presentations till now, what has been made, it's the chair time and the proper counseling and information giving, which if a doctor does properly, 90% of the time our patients won't be unhappy. So the key to a happy patient is giving a proper chair time with proper information about the disease or the surgery which we are going to do.